Right. Welcome to an updated room tour. As you can see, this is a very different room from the last one. I did a room tour in my old apartment way back in the day. I don't even remember when. It must have been like a year and a half ago at this point, probably. So yeah, a couple of people have asked me to do an updated room tour just because they want to see the collection in its entirety. I obviously have separate videos for all of this stuff, like different consoles for the video games and different companies for the Blu-rays. But yeah, I thought I'd do a room tour now because it's New Year and everything like that. So here we go. Another low energy, low effort room tour. Don't look at the floors too closely. I didn't do any vacuuming, or I didn't even dust the shelves. I just thought that whatever. Let's just do this. So yeah, starting off on my left side, I have a incredible PC setup. As you can see, I almost have room to move my hand. My mouse is half broken. The left click doesn't really work anymore properly, and the scroll wheel hasn't worked for like 2 years, but it's good enough for me. I also have a poster of Dracula with Bela Lugosi up there on the wall. Yeah, here I would have my PS5, but it's not here at the moment because I'm working in a different city, and I took my PS5 with me there to my temporary work apartment, so that's there. I also have a bunch of games and Blu-ray with me there, so this isn't everything in my collection. There's like 8 games and 20 Blu-rays missing, but yeah, that's where my PS5 would be. Other consoles, I've got the PS4. This is the original. I bought it in 2015. It still works. I guess I'm lucky. Now I changed it and it's going to break soon. This is also my original PS2. Let's see if I can get some more light here. Yeah. My original PS2, that's like 25 years old at this point, still works perfectly well. And then my PS3, which is not the original fat model I used to have because that one broke, so I had to get a new one. But yeah, I've had this new one for almost 10 years now, I guess. So yeah, there's that. What do we have here? Some controllers, PS2, PS4 controllers, PS1 controllers, extra stuff. And down here I have the PS VR, the original VR set. In this apartment I've used it a couple of times actually. I very rarely take out the VR set, but I have a lot of room here so I can move around freely. So I've used it a couple of times here. I really like the PSVR. Some of the games, like Moss and stuff like that, the original Astrobot VR game. Yeah, my television, that's the same old one. It's like a crappy Philips TV. I don't even remember the model of it, really. So I'll open up the curtains a little bit to get some extra light in. So yeah, I also have this other television, which is it's an old one. It's pretty crappy. I'm trying to get the curtains to stay open. There we go. It's an old one. That was some great footage of my wall right there. Yeah, it's an old one, but I like to keep it. I always take this with me whenever I move apartments because I can hook up the stuff that's there in the plastic bag. So there's my GameCube and PS1, I guess. And yeah, this television has all the old connections, so I can just hook everything up straight to the TV without any adapters or extra cables or anything like that. So that's cool. It's an old Samsung. I don't remember the model of it. Then let's go to the collection. Here I got some amiibos and then the PS1 stuff. I have collection videos for all of this stuff, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I want to get through this as quickly as possible. So yeah, I have collection videos for each console, each Blu-ray company, separate videos for those. I also recently made like top 10 videos for the Sony mainline consoles. Yeah, the Japanese games, I don't know if I should show them because it's not like obvious what they are. It's like Resident Evil. This is an FMV title. Clock Tower, Final Fantasy Tactics, Policenauts, yeah, and this one is Snatcher. I do have a small collection of Japanese games as well. Then on this shelf, I've got the PS2 stuff. I like side shuffle like this. I guess you can see all the spines, hopefully well enough. Yeah, some childhood favorites here. This was probably the most difficult top 10 list to make, simply because of nostalgia. I couldn't include stuff like The Godfather, which is a great licensed game. Also, like, where is it? Like Scarface, The World Is Yours. That's an underrated open world game, like a GTA clone. Just a bunch of games. Lots of Tom Clancy games. Why do I have Turok here? But yeah, this is like for the most part, this is alphabetized, but there are some like random mistakes here and there. So I'll try to fix them if I catch them. But yeah, lots of Tom Clancy stuff with Turok in the middle. That's not a good Turok game either. It's pretty bad. Yeah, then I got the small stack of PSP titles here and some like Dark Souls, the sort of pre-order bonus stuff with the soundtracks and things. The art books. I don't remember if I had this Snorlax plushie in the last one. Yeah, I found this in a flea market, threw it into the washing machine and hoped for the best, and it came out pretty well. Then I also have some Blu-ray backlog here. So the video games are on these shelves are all games that I've played. The Blu-rays are backlog on this side of the wall. So yeah, a bunch of Arrow stuff. Some of these boxes I've watched some of the movies, like the Chucky collection. I've watched everything except for Cult of the Chucky and then the documentary, which is the last one there. I should probably get back to that and finish that box set. Also, like here, like these box sets, some of the movies are so bad that I never went back to those sets, but yeah. A bunch of stuff. Some of these are pretty obscure and out of print, like My Life as a Dog, for example. You don't see that every day. Tout va bien as well, the Godard movie. And then down here, some more Arrow. So this is just Arrow backlog. This is almost everything. I think I have some Arrow backlog in the other room, but yeah. Then I've got here video game magazines. I showed one of them in the PS2 top 10 video. This one, if I can get it out. It's the first one here that I have from this company with the GTA San Andreas preview. I showed that on camera in the PS2 top 10 video when I talked about GTA. So yeah, this magazine doesn't exist anymore. Unfortunately, they were sold to a competitor, and the competitor just, shut them down. Right, the PS3. There are some American games here, like 3D Dot Game Heroes. I would like to have the European for this. There are also some other ones, like you can see that from the spine, it has this sort of globe. Then stuff like Africa, this only has an American release, so yeah. I try to go for as uniform a collection as possible. So I try to have all PAL region complete in box. Catherine's another one that I have a US copy for, unfortunately. And then I have, of course, some Japanese games as well. Not that many for the PS3, but there are some here, like this one. What is this? Ketsui, yeah. An all-time favorite. Then I've got the Super Nintendo Classic Mini. That's a really good system. Okami HD for the PS3. What is this? Oh, it's Resident Evil 0. the HD remaster. And this one is The Last Guy. Really strange puzzle game. Like it a lot. Yeah. This one I think I also showed in the last room tour. This is a custom-made Nito keychain that a friend of mine gifted to me. And some Metal Gear dog tags. These I bought in Japan at the Narita Airport Pokemon Center. Like 10 euros a piece, plus one minimum. And then some more PS3 stuff. Some boxed games here. And then I've made some changes. I moved all of my PS5 limited editions up a shelf. So now down here I only have the regular PS5 stuff. There are some games here that I haven't talked about in recent gaming episodes because I've finished a bunch of games, but if you've been following those videos, you can see some spoilers here. I also have these Game Boy Color games here. Yeah, I have the Pokemon Crystal. I have the cart here. I do have the box and the manual. It's complete in box. I do have it here, right? I just don't like keeping the cards in these cardboard boxes. So yeah, I have a complete in box version of Pokemon Crystal. That's the copy that I had as a kid. Yeah, and down here I've got some PC games, and then some Xbox 360 and NES also. So yeah, I've got a bunch of physical PC games as well. Many people don't like showcasing this sort of stuff. It's not worth anything, but these are like childhood games for me, so they are important. I don't care about the value of them, really. Unless we're talking about the Flintstones, which I'm very interested in the value of, because this is the most expensive item I have. It's not even complete in box. The last time a copy of this was sold here in Finland, it was actually earlier this year. Last year now, because it's January already. But I think in November, someone sold a worse condition version of this. And which was also just boxed, because I don't have the manual either. So just a boxed copy of the Flintstones. It went for like 500 euros. And mine is in better condition with the flaps and everything intact. So there you go. Glad to have that. And I didn't pay anything for it because I got it as a kid. As a gift. So there you go. Then some Blu-ray. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these. These are just like retail Blu-rays, UK releases, Nordic releases, whatever. There's a bunch of good movies. There are also some holes there because I took, like I said, I took some movies like with me to the other apartment, and I've watched some movies from here as well. So I haven't filled all of the gaps, but yeah, there you go. One thing that I don't like about this setup is that I have to have all like these Blu-rays and video games on the same shelves. I would like to keep them separate, but it's not possible at the moment. Then I've got a full shelf of PS4 stuff. I also have the limited run games releases here in the middle. Like you can spot them from the spines. I have so many games by limited run games, it's ridiculous. Not all of them by any means, but I have most of the ones that I would like to have. I'm only missing like some of the early ones, like Shadow Complex and Oddworld New and Tasty. Those are really expensive ones I don't have, but I have most of what I want. I haven't bought anything new from them in a long time now. Yeah, this was probably the second hardest top 10 video I made, simply because of how many games there are to pick from. Like, these are all games that I've played. I've finished all of these. I haven't just played them, I've finished them. Whatever it means. I mean, Stardew Valley, can you really finish that game? No, but I've done everything you can in the game, basically, and I got the Platinum Trophy for it. Yeah, there's some pretty collectible stuff here already, like the Talos Principle Deluxe Edition. It's not the cheapest one. It's probably going to go up in price. There's some more PS4 stuff. There you go. There's some games that I'm currently either playing or have on hold, like Phobia. Man, that game is so bad. I played one session of that game like half a year ago and never went back to it. I have to finish it still, but it's really bad. There's some more Blu-ray stuff. All Quiet on the Western Front, Towering Inferno. There's some interesting movies here. Foxcatcher. There's a small Nicolas Cage section with mostly just the worst movies probably he's made. Oh, and also National Treasure, which is a classic guilty pleasure. I watched National Treasure, but I have it there because I want to rewatch it. Yeah, there's some trash here, some really good stuff. There's Goonies, The Last Temptation of Christ. Yeah, there you go. And then here I've got the PS4 and also some PS5 collector's editions, limited editions, stuff that I don't want to put there on the shelf with all the other like basic plastic releases. Just, to keep these safe. Make sure that they don't get damaged. Got the Grim Fandango here, Ikaruga, Messenger, some really good games. The original signature edition releases. I do have the other ones as well that were this size from the original run, but I haven't played all of those, so some of them are in the closet, which I will go to at some point. Yeah, there you go. There's Red Art Games, East Asia Soft, like these early ones from them. I find it extremely funny that The Coma is one of the most expensive PS4 games. It's really expensive and it's so bad. I hate that game so much. It's so bad. Got the Yoshi plushie. Some more limited editions. Many of these are just retail releases like Hellblade and Daymare 1998 and Fahrenheit Anniversary Edition. And then I've got here some sealed games in protective cases. These are games that I have a digital copy of that I've played. So I bought the physical edition just for collection purposes. So I'm not going to open them up at all. So there's like Divinity. I've played those both of those games on PC. There's the European retail Hotline Miami collection release that sold out pretty quickly. And then a bunch of limited run games as well, like Wonder Boy, Transistor. I have 2 copies of Wonder Boy. One of them is here. This is also a limited run games release, isn't it? Oh no, this is the Chinese English edition. Yeah, I played the game from this. This was before limited run games released it, so yeah. And I got in a blind box the limited run games version. It has a different cover art, so I've kept both of those. Then some limited editions here. This is Little League Blaze. Yeah, I didn't talk about all of the Japanese ones for the PS4. There are probably some cases there that don't have the spine. Oh yeah. There's like Ketsu Destiny and stuff like that. Yeah. And this is the Hotline Miami collection, the original physical from Japan. And what else do we have? What is this? Oh yeah, this is Dodonpachi. So yeah, there you go. And then what is down here? Catherine, sure. And then I have the Kickstarter, the big box for Bloodstained. And this is the more rare version, the one that doesn't have the autographs. There are fewer of these than there are the ones with the autographs. So There you go. And then down here I have some big limited editions, collector editions that don't really fit anywhere else. Odin Sphere. And then these are like the really big signature edition boxes. I'm not a huge fan of this design. These are so big. This is better that they use now. Yeah, I'm missing a bunch of these as well. I don't have all of them nearly. Right, and then I'll quickly go through the Blu-ray stuff. So here is a shelf of Backlog. There's Radiance Films Backlog. I just recently got in the mail this replacement disc for The Betrayal, the samurai movie. So I should check that one out, I guess. And then a bunch of like random assortment of different companies. There's Second Sight with the Basket Case trilogy. There's Umbrella, Blue Underground, Code Red, just a bunch of different companies. Twilight Time, Severin, some Vinegar Syndrome, and then a bunch of 88 films, which continues down here. Just a bunch of 88 films, limited editions, also some standard releases. I still haven't watched anything from the Pete Walker horror set. I should check that out. I did, however, watch the first Anaconda movie again, which was much better than I remembered. It was really fun, actually. Then there's some Japanese movies. These are, for the most part, sorted by company, but not perfectly. So we got Eureka, Artificial Eye, Third Window, BFI, Criterion, Imprint, Eureka, 88 films as well there, and then Arrow. That's RAN. Now it's going to be difficult to show everything here because the lighting is pretty bad, but I'll do my best. And here we have other Asian movies. So there's Korea, China, Taiwan, and then a bunch of Hong Kong stuff. That's Flowers of Shanghai, I guess, yeah, there in the shadow. Hopefully the reflection isn't too bad. I have to have the window open because otherwise it's so dark that I can't even show everything on these shelves. Yeah, so there's a bunch of martial arts movies and other movies from the Asian regions. And down here I've got a random assortment of all kinds of box sets and then a lot of BFI and Criterion. So there you go. And when will I get to this? Well, I'll pick movies here out of here one by one whenever I feel like it. That's the double of Veronique and of Gods and Men there on top. So yeah, these are all European releases. Some of these are Nordic, like I think the Mission Impossible box set is Nordic. The Luc Besson collection is a Nordic box set as well. Has a bunch of his movies. And then down here, more Eureka, more Criterion, all kinds of stuff. Got the Samuel Fuller box set here. And behind it there's Second Sight and 101 Films stuff for some reason. I have no idea why those are there, but whatever. And then down here I have a full shelf of just Indicator. And all of this box set. This box set looks really nice. I don't even know if I want to open them up. Yeah, another Samuel Fuller box set. Some more Indicator. Then I guess I'll start from, because I'm sitting on the floor, I guess I'll start from here. These are movies that I watched now. So we've got a bunch of Nicolas Cage stuff, and then just in no order, just all kinds of Blu-ray that I watched. These are mostly just retail releases. There is some more collectible stuff like the Soda Pictures slipcover variants and stuff like that, but yeah. And also I've got some steelbooks. This is probably the coolest steelbook that I have. It's for the original Sharknado. It looks really nice. I like this a lot. Yeah, I've got a couple of steelbooks I guess this isn't all of them, because I do have Terminator 2 as well as a steelbook. It's not here. It's somewhere else, I guess. I have no idea where. But yeah, I have Terminator 2 as well. This is also a really nice looking steelbook for the original The Fly, the 1950s version of that. Yeah. I don't really collect steelbooks, but whenever I run across one that's cool, I get it. If the design is nice and the price is right. Yeah, there's a bunch of good movies here. There's the entirety of the Death Wish series, with 2, 3, 4, and 5 as Finnish Blu-rays, and then the first one is UK Blu-ray. Then down here I've got anime. I haven't done a separate video for anime because I don't really have enough of a collection. I watched a lot of stuff, but I don't have physical copies of them. But yeah, this is probably the most expensive anime-related thing I have. This is the limited edition of the Garden of Sinners movie series. 8 movies, really good stuff. Yeah, Pat Labor is great. Ghost in a Shell, Nadia, Serial Experiments Line, and then some movies here as well. Perfect Blue, Akira, In This Corner of the World, really good stuff. Metropolis, and a bunch of Ghibli stuff. I don't have all of the Ghibli movies either. I've watched all of them, but I don't have physical copies of everything. Right, then I'll move up here. So here we got Radiance films, all the stuff that I watched from Radiance. Some really, really good movies here. Je t'aime, Il Posto. The Horrible Dr. Hitchcock was really good as well. Married to the Mob, great stuff. And then I've got the partner labels here, like Fun City Editions, Grindhouse, all of the Raro video releases. I'm missing one. I have it, but I haven't watched it. What is it called? Like Die First, Shoot Later, or whatever, something like that. I do have that, but it's not here because I haven't watched it yet. And then I have all of the Japanese Radiance releases here. Some really good stuff here as well. Hokureku Proxy War, especially. Big Time Gambling Boss. I also have a bunch of Radiance, like I have the rest of the Radiance stuff is on a different shelf because that's for like Hong Kong and other movies from other Asian regions. So they are there. More Japanese stuff organized by company. So Arrow. I've got the original limited editions for these. Female Prisoner Scorpion, for example, and The Ring as well. The reprints have different color boxes. A bunch of movies. There's my Mothra plushie. However, I don't have the Mothra limited edition by Eureka. I should get that whenever I have the chance. It's a great movie. And then here, some more Arrow stuff. Harakiri House, Kuroneko, classic stuff. And then Criterion. I do have about Mishima here, although it's an American movie, because it's basically like Japanese, except for the director. Like all of the actors and the subject matter and everything is Japanese, so I think it fits. Yeah, there's BFI, Third Window. It annoys me so much that Cold Fish has a different kind of spine than the other ones. Really annoying. It's not the only one by Third Window that has just this logo here, but it's the only one that I have currently. Yeah, and then there's the 88 Films stuff that I watched. And then here, like everything here is movies I've watched, like these 3 shelves. So I'll move quickly because we're closing in on 30 minutes. I want to finish this in less than 45. So there you go. There's Umbrella, just a random collection of different movies from different companies here. Premium Edition, 101 Films. Some Second Sight, Studio Canal there. There's Ben and Willard there in the corner. and then just a bunch of different movies. All kinds of stuff. Hopefully that shows. Then we've got Vinegar Syndrome here and their partner labels. Lots of trash here, lots of good stuff as well. Like Six String Samurai was really fun. And also the Wakaliwood movies and stuff like that. Rudy Ray Moore that's some classic stuff. Then 88 Films. Again, some good stuff, some bad stuff. Tentacles is horrible. Seed People is really fun. Yeah, there you go. What do we have in the corner? Gestapo's Last Orgy. And some Van Damme. Then down here we've got BFI. Criterion. The Criterion collection I have is growing and growing. I recently picked up a bunch of sales Blu-rays from Criterion. Those will be in a collection update. That's probably coming next week, I guess. So I bought a ton of new Criterion stuff. Then down here, Artificial Eye, some random movies that I can't fit anywhere else. Jacob's Ladder, Second Run, Dog Woof, different companies. And then some Indicator stuff that I watched. The Harryhausen box set, Volume 1, that's great. The second one as well, but I don't have that. The Swimmer, underrated movie. Then down here I've got some Finnish movies. Also Marmaduke, it's not Finnish, but whatever. There's some good stuff here. Hatching. And then Hymyilevä Mies, that's The Happiest Day of Olli Mäki. Really good movie. And then Kaurismäki stuff. I don't have all of them, but I have most of them. I guess the most important one that I'm missing is Tulitikkutehtaan tyttö, The Match Factory Girl. That's one of the best ones. One of my favorites. Then a bunch of digibooks and different slipcover editions, box sets. These are the retail releases. I never got the Arrow Sergio Leone movies because I have this UK set, this older one that is just good enough for me. So there you go. Some TV series as well here: Chernobyl, Twin Peaks, some David Lynch stuff. And this is a perfect example of this stuff is not organized in any way. I've got here Space Jam, City of God, and Blue Velvet next to one another. That makes absolutely no sense. And then here we have Escape from New York, Son of Saul. I guess Son of Saul and Oppenheimer and Curse of Iron go together pretty well, but what does Escape from New York have to do with that? I don't know. G-Force, Jaws, and Talk to Me. Right. And then down here I've got just a bunch of stuff. Again, just stacks and stacks and stacks of just regular Blu-rays. A lot of this is horror stuff here. I've got the Universal horror movies here. Everything except for The Wolfman. I've never bought that, unfortunately. Should get it. Yeah, I also have this DVD. It's a documentary on the record company Hydra Head. A bunch of good bands. I'm currently wearing a Godflesh hoodie, so Jesu is one of the bands from Justin Broderick, the guy who does Godflesh. It's a bunch of trash and a bunch of good stuff. Like Swamp Shark. Now, Swamp Shark isn't trash. It's actually not the worst one when it comes to shark movies. But yeah, there you go. And then staying on the floor, I've got the Finnish Berserk DVD box set with the most awful translations. Like these are awful translations, but it's really charming. If you read the back cover, if you know Finnish, you can see that it's just awful. They don't really know what they were doing. They didn't really know what they were doing. I've got Scarface here, this cigarette box, and then again a bunch of movies. What is there? Oh, Jingle All the Way. That's a classic Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Yeah. Again, in no particular order. And these Blu-rays I haven't shown in any of the videos before, really, except for the room tour that I last did. Because I didn't feel like doing like collection videos for this like retail Blu-ray stuff. It's not really that high quality most of the time. It's just a case and a disc. Yeah, there you go. Did I already go like this? I can't remember. I'll do it. I'll do a quick one like this. There you go. That's a really good movie there. The Big Lebowski, No Country for Old Men. Also underrated movie, The Place Beyond the Pines. Yeah, I also have this, again, still I have this framed picture of Nicolas Cage that I found at a flea market, and I you know, you can't leave something like this in a flea market. And it was €4, and it was titled Silmän iloa, Eye Candy. So it was eye candy for €4. So there you go. That's eye candy for you. Right, and then down here we've got Hong Kong, starting with the Criterion, set for Wong Kar-wai, some Vinegar Syndrome, lots and lots of 88 films. If there is one portion of my collection that I would never get rid of, it's this one. I love this 88 films Hong Kong stuff, especially. Eureka as well, but I think 88 films do more movies that are for my taste. So these really trashy action movies and horror movies. Yeah, there's Rush Hour, Ashes of Time, Stephen Chow movies and stuff like that. And then here I've got the Radiance, the Chinese and Hong Kong movies that they've released. And then a bunch of different Asian regions. There's Uncle Boon Me. Like, this is a really expensive Blu-ray. Just go on eBay and look at the prices. That's really expensive. Good movie as well. Indonesia, Taiwan. I also have Takeout here, which is kind of a Chinese immigrant movie set in New York. Yeah, then there's Korea. And then we get to the Arrow stuff. This I'll jump up top. So I've got 3 shelves of just Arrow limited editions and stuff like that. Videodrome, American Werewolf in London, some of my favorites of all time. Enter the Void, crazy movie. Really, really, really out there. The cover art is so fantastic. Can I get it back here? I'll have to fix it later. I can't do it with one hand. Reanimator recently got a new release from Second Sight, I guess. Yeah, this box set is really nice as well. It's Enter the Video Store with Arena and Robot and Dolls. I like all of those movies. I also have a Region A box set for Hellraiser, the Scarlet box, that I should probably get rid of and get the newer a B region version of the newer box set. But yeah, some more limited editions. Some of these are very expensive and out of print, like Years of Lead, and then the Macabre Visions of Mario Bava. Also the George Romero box set, although it only has one good movie, it has The Crazies in it. The other 2 movies are just awful. Season of the Witch, and there's, what is it called? There's something about Vanilla or whatever. There's Always Vanilla, man. That movie sucks. Yeah. Hodorowski, a bunch of limited editions. I moved really quickly for the video game stuff, and then I slowed down for the movies. I have no idea why. But yeah, those are those shelves. All right, I have to edit this in, jump back in here, because I forgot to record this shelf. So this is the rest of my Arrow stuff. It's also like, this is darker than the other footage because it's later during the day. But whatever, it's good enough. So this is the rest of the Arrow stuff that I just skipped for whatever reason. I don't know. I just wanted to get moving with the video because it was getting really long. So yeah, this is the other Arrow stuff that I had, the third part of the shelf. So there you go. and then I'm moving here. I also have a bunch of books. I have 3 bookshelves here. I'll quickly show it like this. Most of the spines are in Finnish, so you can't read them anyway. But no, there's Dante. There's Winnie the Pooh next to Ernest Hemingway. This again is barely organized. I've got a bunch of the cloth-bound editions from Penguin. These look really nice, like Dracula and Frankenstein and the Iliad and the Odyssey, stuff like that. Got the Hunter S. Thompson Fear and Loathing stuff. Bunch of philosophy books that I haven't read, just to impress people that I own them. This is a plushie of Taco, who is the mascot of, I guess, is it Kyoto? One of the cities in Japan. It's Taco. It's great. H.P. Lovecraft, Edgar Allan Poe. It's a bunch of sci-fi books and horror books. No, Taco is on the floor. He fell. Ballard, Dick, all the good ones. And then down here, just a random assortment of all kinds of books that I can't fit anywhere. Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Bret Easton Ellis, Cormac McCarthy. There are some pretty good ones here. More Philip K. Dick. And how many of these have I read? Probably 1/4 or 1/3. I've read quite a few of these. And then over here, I've got Japanese books. Got Musashi. These are the hotel room papercraft cranes that were in my hotel room when I went to Japan on vacation. I kept them. I took them with me. Still have them. Yeah, a bunch of manga and other stuff here. I Am a Cat. That's a classic. No Longer Human. One of the most depressing books ever written. Bunch of Ishiguro. I'm not a huge fan of him, but I run into his books every once in a while, and I always buy them. Because why not? Then I've got some American comic books as well. Dark Knight, Aliens, Terminator, stuff like that. Some British ones, Judge Dredd, and just a random collection of different stuff that I've run into. And then a bunch of manga. Some Evangelion there. Persepolis is a really good, that's a European comic book. There's also a movie of it that's really, really, really good. I don't have a copy of the movie physically, unfortunately, but yeah, Nausicaa is great. I recently picked up this hardcover edition of Ghost in a Shell, which has all the 3. I've only read this one and this one, and I read them from the old, worse, dark. I guess they were Dark Horse releases, right? I can't remember, but they were mirrored, the old Ghost in a Shell releases. They didn't read the right directions. I had a really hard time following those books, the old ones. I should reread them, see if they make more sense. Not mirrored. And some beginnings of collections, like the first 3 editions of Vagabond and Blade of the Immortal, stuff like that. Vinland Saga I found in a flea market. I have no idea why they were at the flea market, but I picked those up. Junji Ito. Then a bunch of movie books and Mizuki's Kitaro. Yeah, a bunch of movie books on different directors and different movies. Also music books. This is an underrated Finnish band. Mana Mana. One of the all-time great Finnish bands, in my opinion. Another really good Finnish band is also somewhere here. Where is it? There, Kingston Wall. That's a great progressive rock band from Finland. Really crazy stuff. And then down here, I've got some Murakami, and I've got a bunch of manga. I've got the entirety of the Hopeanuoli. That's the Finnish translation for what is the English name? I can't remember. It's not Weed, but it's the other one with the dogs and the bear. Can't remember the name of it. Yeah, Samurai Executioner also, Lone Wolf in a Cub. Lone Wolf in a Cub. Please no. Lone Wolf and Cub. Please don't go inside the cub, please. Yeah. There you go. And then last bookshelf. This is Finnish literature. Not really worth showing that much because no one is going to be able to read the spines. Got some plushies. These are from Fangamer. I bought them a really, really long time ago. Yeah, but this bookshelf, I'm here just because I want to show these. So there are video game books down here. There's Ico, Kojima, Stardew Valley guidebook. There's some novelizations. There's the original Rainbow Six that the games are based on. That's for The Witcher, Sapkowski. And then a novelization of Code Veronica, Resident Evil. Weird stuff. Yeah, we've got here. I got a bunch of these bitmap books. Really nice, high quality books. Guide to JRPGs. Also got the Metal Slug Ultimate History from them. Some random game guides that I've run into in the wild. I don't really collect this stuff, but whenever I see something that I like, I don't actively seek this stuff out, but whenever I run into something, I just want to get it, right? So I'll buy it. Then I've got some posters up here. This is a 10th anniversary poster for the video game magazine that I talked about earlier. And then a movie festival, Helsinki International Film Festival 2017. Also, I've got this bigger Godzilla here. And then, just lastly, to finish off, just one more poster. Tale of the Princess Kaguya. And then here I have the rest of my collection in this closet. It's not nearly as impressive as the walk-in closet that I used to have this stuff in. But yeah, this is all the rest of my collection. So up here we've got in 2 different rows limited editions for the PS4 and PS5. Then I've got 3 stacks deep here, PS5 games, some PS4 games as well. And then these are also 3 stacks deep, so there's a lot of stuff here. Right? I don't think I'm going to be able to move these around too much with one hand, but I'll just pull these out so you can kind of see how much stuff there is. It's not easy to get your hands on something. Like if I feel like playing something that's there, like I have Like a Dragon there, Yakuza. Whenever I'm going to play that, I'm going to have a hard time trying to get it out of there. So yeah, it's 3 deep. It's not ideal, but it's the best solution for the current situation. Yeah, down here, PS3 games, again, 3 stacks deep. I'm not going to show everything in detail, but there, like all of this stuff, also some random PS1 games that I can't fit anywhere else. All of this stuff has been covered in collection updates and the collection videos. So yeah, there's PSP games, PS2 games, some really high quality stuff here. Persona 4, Project 0, 2 and 3, Zone of the Enders, Space Channel 5. There's a lot of money here in these stacks. Guitaroo Man, that's an expensive one. Then down here I've got my Xbox 360 that I haven't used in like 12 years at least, and then some more PS2 games. Also the old Ghost in a Shell books, I'm going to sell these off. Where are these Dark Horse? No, these are Kodansha comics. Yeah, these are mirrored, not good. And then I've got here the Ingmar Bergman box set that I showed off in a recent collection update, and then a bunch of Blu-ray and PS1 games. Most of these are from the like collection updates from like the last 6 months, I guess. That's here in the front. And then I got the PS1 stuff. There are 2 stacks back to back for this. Bunch of Blu-ray. There's some PS1 games behind them there. And then up here, 3 deep Blu-ray stuff. And that's that. 49 minutes. I think that's pretty good, considering how much stuff I have. I guess I'll return to my starting position. So, here you go. That's the entirety of my current collection in this apartment. I moved here in like March 2025, so it's been a while, but yeah, I eventually got around to recording this. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back next week with something else. Bye.